During the early childhood stage, children will start doing things on their own. They will want to eat by themselves, dress themselves, and walk by themselves. This is how the toddler strives for autonomy. It is essential for parents not to be overprotective at this stage. A parent's level of protectiveness will influence the child's ability to achieve autonomy. If a parent is not reinforcing, the child will feel shameful and will doubt his or her abilities. Children who experience too much doubt at this stage will lack confidence in their own capabilities throughout life. Play age, initiative versus guilt. The third stage is the play age stage, referred to as the locomotor phase. The most important event in this stage is independence. In this stage, the child continues to be assertive and takes own initiative. Playing and hero worshipping are an important form of initiative for children. Click on the play button to view the video clip. Children in this stage are eager for responsibility. Thus, it is essential for adults to accept the child's initiative no matter how small it may be. If the child is not given a chance to be responsible and do things on their own, a sense of guilt may develop. The child will then tend to believe no matter what they do is wrong. School age. Industry versus inferiority. The school age stage is the latency phase. In this stage, children learn to see the relationship between determination and the pleasure of a job completed. The important event at this stage is going to school. Click on the play button to view the video clip. As a student, the children have to be productive and do their work on their own. At this stage, they are physically and mentally ready for it. It is essential for the child at this stage to discover pleasure in being productive and the need to succeed. This is an industrial element in the child. The child's relationship with peers in school and the neighborhood becomes increasingly important at this stage. However, if child is unable to move between the world at home and the world of peers, then this will lead the child to feel inferior. Adolescence, identity versus role confusion. The adolescent stage is a very significant stage in psychosocial development, as at this stage adolescents are in search of their identity that will lead them to adulthood. In this stage, the important event for adolescent is peer relationship. Adolescents make strong efforts to answer the question, "Who am I?" It is noted that healthy resolutions of earlier conflicts during the childhood stage can now serve as a foundation for the search for an identity. In this stage, adolescents attempt to establish their own identities and see themselves as a separate entity from their parents. Peer relationships are more significant than families. If the adolescent is not able to make deliberate decisions and choices, especially about education, sexual orientation, and life in general, role confusion becomes a threat to them. Young adult, intimacy versus isolation. The young adulthood stage is when the individual starts exploring the outside world. The most important event in this stage are love relationships. At this stage, the conflict between intimacy and isolation takes place. Intimacy refers to one's ability to relate to another human being on a deep personal level. An individual who has not developed a sense of identity usually will have fears about a committed relationship and may retreat into isolation.
प्यार होता है दीवाना सनम तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम प्यार होता है दीवाना सनम तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम.
Adulthood. Generativity versus stagnation. Adulthood is a stage where an individual reaches the middle age phase. In this stage, the important event is parenting. Click on the play button to view the video clip. In the adulthood stage, there is a conflict between generativity and stagnation. Generativity here refers to the adult's ability to care for another person, especially their children. According to the Psychosocial Development Theory, adults in this stage will have and be able to nurture children and become involved in the future generations. If the adult is not able to deal with issues relating to their children, thus this can lead to stagnation in their life later. Mature age. Ego integrity versus despair. The mature age stage is referred to as the maturity phase. The most important event at this stage is coming to accept one's whole life and reflecting on that life in a positive manner. According to the Psychosocial Development Theory, at this stage, the adult feels a sense of integrity about life and accepts death as an unavoidable reality. Individuals who are unable to obtain a feeling of fulfillment and completeness will despair and fear death. Summary. In this topic, we have learned that psychosocial development theory is a theory related to the development of the mind and personality of an individual. An individual goes through an 8-stage psychosocial development process from the time he or she is born until death. The 8 stages of development are interdependent, and accomplishments at later stages depend on how conflicts are resolved in the early years.